Hello, my name is Alina and I'm presenting our work, Novel Approaches to Analyzing and Distinguishing Fake and Real News. This project has been done in collaboration of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and the Department of English from the State University of New York at Buffalo. And the authors are Alina Vereshchaka, that is me, Saska Simony, and Professor Vendon. So, the problem. The increasing usage of social media has led to an increase in the number of people who can be influenced, and thus the spread of fake news can potentially impact important events. Also, identifying disinformation can help in preventing the confusing and manipulating the public. Our goal for this project is to distinguish between the real and fake news. What is disinformation? There are multiple ways to determine, but for our project, we have been assuming that disinformation is a false information that is deliberately and often covertly spread in order to influence public opinion or obscure the truth. For this project, we have addressed the problem of fake news identification using three different directions. So we have addressed this issue using the social, cultural, and textual approach, using data analysis approach, and using deep learning approach. For the data, we have been using the data set that is publicly available, and it was extracted using the fake news net tool. And the final data set has the data from the political domain, and it has in total over 400 of fake news articles and over 600 of real news articles. So let's check our social, cultural, and textual approach. For this direction, we have been analyzing the data using different scenarios. So first of all, we have been checking the headlines. And as we can see here, as an example of fake and real news, they are both using the same tactics to communicate urgency. This is the tools that unfortunately help also the disinformation spread, because capitalized words, there captures attention and it uses as a news, but actually they are not legitimate news. We also have been analyzing sources, and readers of the news expect that the information coming from a first-hand source. But the difference is that in real news, you should be able to find that source, it just exists, and the news is not trying to hide it. Like for example, here in this example, it mentions that as Alice Slater, the New York director of the Nuclear Age Peace Foundation, it means that there is a very direct reference, even though it's not quoted or there is not a link provided. But I'm, as a reader, I can go and find this person. Versus here, in the fake news, they're using the language. It has been reported. So I have to trust that someone with journalistic training and integrity has found this information. But I'm as a reader, I have no way of knowing where it comes from. We also have been analyzing the text using the usage of adjectives, and in real news, it is providing the factual, conceptual information that help us to understand. For example, in this example, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, I am as a reader understand her position in Congress. I understand that she got some power. Versus in the fake news example, which is related to the same person, the adjectives modified to give me not important contextual information, but rather present a value judgment about her, which is also often used in fake news in order to deliver some message or to make public think about specific things that the fake news makers want to have. And it's also interesting that in this example with the fake news, they are using California to make it look like real. So they use this contextual, that is a standard way in journalism, to identify a state and a state of origin and political party affiliation, which is also to make people or to make the reader think that this is a kind of a representation of the real news. The last thing that I have been approaching in terms of sociocultural and textual analysis, we have been analyzing publication information. And most of the time in the fake news, there will be missing author biography, or author biography will provide no information about their journalistic affiliation, or there will be some irrelevant or contentless photos. Or for example, in this example provided here, there is an example of erroneous metadata. While in real news, most of the time there will be provided full author name, affiliation. So as a reader, I will be able to go and find this person and to know where this news is coming from. Also, for this project, we have been applying the data analysis approach, and we have been extracting the whole data set for fake and real news, and we tried to identify the top 20 words for fake and for real news. And what is interesting here is that in fake news, the word Trump is more relevant, while in real news, president is used to address the key newsmaker. This distinction between the office of the president and the individual begins to show that fake news has a stronger investment in effective and ideological approaches rather than real news. We also has been making the BRiMS. We again extracted the top 20 word phrases for fake and for real news. And here, similar to the word cloud, in real news, public figures are often referred by official titles. For example, Secretary Clinton or Senator Obama, Senator Clinton, while in the fake news, first names are given instead or in addition, for example, President Donald. Also, for this project, we have been applying various deep learning models. And in order to apply some deep learning model, first of all, we had to do the data pre-processing. And we have been given some kind of text as an example here. We have been cleaning it, so we have removed all the punctuation, the paragraph symbols, all the other non-relevant symbols, and then we have encoded it using BP tool to make it possible use as an input to some deep learning models. For deep learning models, we have been using 3 various models, which are short-term memory or LSTM, recurrent neural networks or RNN, and gated recurrent unit or GRU. These are the most commonly and more promising models that has been used for textual type of information, and they also showed pretty good results for our model as well. For the hyperparameters, we have been using for all of these 3 models, we have been using from 1 to 2 layers. We have been using SALU as an activation function. The activation output function is sigmoid because we are performing binary classification. For the epochs, we have been using from 1 to 5 epochs of training. And this has been done in order to prevent overfitting of our model. Because unfortunately, the data sets that we have been utilizing is not that robust to apply some very complicated deep learning models. But still, we were able to get pretty interesting results. So among the 3 models, LSTM showed the best result of 75 test accuracy, while GRU showed only 41% of accuracy. And of course, these results can be improved, with the bigger size of the data set, or with a different setup of the hyperparameters. Thank you so much for listening. So this was our project, and again, the goal of this project was to identify the ways to identify the disinformation. We believe that with this with different approaches to solve this problem, it can be more stable, or it can work really good if we apply this kind of ensemble approaches to identify or to classify the fake or real news. This will make the results more stable and more accurate. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.